Now let's go to the next section, that is section D, where we'll be covering question number 6A and 6B, 7A and 7B. And question number 6B, which is a tourist leaflet, or there is another option of an appeal. Basically, you have to go through the information which is given here. For question number 6 is a writing skill question, and the students need to follow the rules and the word limit wherever you get the instruction. So as for now, question number 6A will be a tourist leaflet. An attractive title should be given to it. A short introduction should be given place in it. Now how will you write a tourist leaflet, or how will you write an appeal? That will say. Or you have another option, a report writing. Basically, this should be dropped, or dialogue writing, which you have already done, because the first option is a very easy option, tourist leaflet, wherein the questions will be given in the paper as to how to get there, where to stay, and what to see. We are talking about question number 6B, which will be a tourist leaflet, or it can be an appeal also. And if we come back here, question number 6A, which is a letter writing, again here there are two options, formal letter and informal letter. As you can see, informal letter, which will also be carrying 4 marks, but don't go for this option, informal letter. Go for a formal letter, because that is more scoring, as 50% of the information is provided in the question paper. For example, if you are writing a job application letter, the CV, that is the biodata, what you call, or the curriculum, it is already provided in the question paper. That is the name, qualification, experience, everything is given in the question paper. To whom you are writing the letter, that is a job application letter. For example, if it is a letter you are applying for the post of a teacher, then the address of the school will be given. If you are applying for a bank, the address of the bank will be given. So you have to just write to HDFC Bank, to the manager HDFC Bank, and so on. And if you are writing informal letter, then it can be in 3 paragraphs. But avoid that, since this will take a lot of time in thinking. And formal letter, you won't take much time, as 50% of the information is given here in formal letter. Now question number 6C, that is an information transfer from non-verbal to verbal, and again it will be giving you 4 marks. Again it has one more option. If you don't want to opt for information transfer, you can opt for develop a counter view for a particular topic. Now what are these two topics? After letter writing we will discuss this. So what are these two topics? Transfer from non-verbal to verbal. For example, you are given a pie chart or bar diagram, so that will be non-verbal. Now you have to convert it into a paragraph. For example, in the pie chart you can see a number of students who are opting for maths, or who are opting for statistics, or who are opting for history or geography. That way, that pie diagram you should be able to convert into a paragraph, wherein you will start with the above diagram. We can see that many of the students are opting for 120 words, not more than 120 words. That's one paragraph you have to write about the pie diagram. And if you don't want this option, then you can go for developing a counter view. Now what is view? Counter view is just going with the opposite ideas which are given in the paper. For example, would you like to use mobile phones? Because A, B, C, D, four advantages will be given for using the mobile phone. Now you have to put a counter view and you have to counter the 4 points which are given in the paper, that if we use mobile, these are the disadvantages. Basically, if advantages are given, you have to write the disadvantages, counter viewing each of the point given in the paper. And if disadvantages are given, you can go with the positive thing. Yes, no, I think mobiles are good because, and then you can give all the counter view and positive lines. So this also you can opt for. Better, I think, is a tourist leaflet. That is the easiest one because 4 questions will be framed in the paper. So question number 6A, 4 marks. Here we have to go for formal letter. Question number 6B, which will be a tourist leaflet. This is the better option. And question number 6C, you have to go for information transfer instead of going for a counter view. Now, what do we write in tourist leaflet depends on the question. For example, if you are given a historical leaflet, write a tourist leaflet to any of the historical places. Or you may get write a tourist leaflet to any of the hill stations. Or you may get a tourist leaflet to any of the religious places. So basically you have to understand the question. If you are asked a hill station, you cannot write Goa. If you are asked write a tourist leaflet to any of the interesting tourist destination, then you can write some tourist destination. But otherwise, if specifically you are asked to write historical place, you have to write those places which are a tourist spot but historical in nature. For example, we'll take Mahabaleshwar. If a tourist leaflet is asked to write on a hill station, you can write Mahabaleshwar. If a tourist leaflet to a religious place is asked, again you can write Mahabaleshwar. Or if a tourist leaflet is asked about historical place, you can again write Pratapgarh, but again it is situated in the hills of Mahabaleshwar. So if you read this one tourist leaflet of Mahabaleshwar, you can write this answer very easily. Now, how to go about it? How to write the answers? So the first question always which will be asked in the paper for 4 marks will be, there will be 4 questions. First will be how to get there. Suppose you write Mahabaleshwar, so how to get there, and where to stay, what to see, and anything special about that place. For example, first question, how to get there. Again, there will be 3 options for writing. In the answer, you have to write by road, by rail, or by air. By road, suppose it takes, you can write, always you have to write from the viewpoint of Mumbai, because I think you are answering from Mumbai, right? So if you are writing from Nagpur, then you have to say from Nagpur how far it is, right? So I think now if you are writing from Mumbai, you have to write how far it is from Mumbai. If you go by road, you can take the Goa highway, national highway to Goa, and after around say 4 to 5 hours journey, it is by road. If you want to go by air, then you have to go to a airport in Satara again, then you'll have to go by road. And if you are going by rail, again you have to get down at Satara and again take a private cab or a bus which will be taking you to Mahabaleshwar. So if you are writing a tourist leaflet to Mahabaleshwar, you can cover all the tourist leaflet, whether it is religious, whether it is historical, or whether it is a tourist leaflet to any of the village or town. Now, what to see? What to see? Of course, on a hill station, you will always see that there is a sunrise point, there is a sunset point, the eco point, there is a one tree hill point, and so on. So what to see in Mahabaleshwar? as a hill station, you can write. I think I'll have to cut off over here. You go a little back and just come back. Question number 6A.
You can just first click resume.
Question number 6A. Let's start with section D. Section D, that is the writing skill for 4 marks. Now here in question number 6A, letter writing, you will be asked to write a formal letter or an informal letter. So out of these two, you have to go for the first option. You have to take a formal letter, because in the informal letter you will have to put in your own information. For example, there can be a letter to the editor. Write a letter to the editor about the grievances of the sound pollution in your area due to all the religious festivals. So for that, if you write a letter to the editor, it's basically a complaint letter wherein you should know how to write the content about the complaint. For example, if it's about sound pollution, then Mr. Editor, just see that the sound pollution is gone to so and so decibel point and it should not be beyond that. So we don't know about all these things. So it is better to drop a letter to the editor. If you write about the complaint that so and so bus is not coming from your area and you are finding it difficult to go to college, again you should know the bus routes and all that. So it is better to drop second option, informal letter, and we will go with question number 6A, that is a formal letter. Now basically what is asked in a formal letter is always a job application letter. Now what is a job application letter? A curriculum vitae will be provided to you here for your writing skills. They will be checking your writing skills in that, and accordingly you have to see that the address which is given in the letter, that is the curriculum vitae, will be of a particular student. A name will be given and you have to write that name, address of that person who is applying for the post, and sorry, the post applied for can be in either, suppose you are applying for the bank, you are applying for the post of an accountant, for the post of an accountant in the bank, then you'll have to see the curriculum vitae, which will be comprising of BCom. You have done your BCom, your work and your experiences for 2 years in so and so bank. Or if your curriculum vitae differs in the question paper, it is given that your qualification is MCom B.Ed and you need to apply for a teacher, for a post of a teacher in a particular college, or your BSc B.Ed, your curriculum shows that you are applying for the post of a teacher in a particular school. So everything will be provided, all information will be provided in the CV. So that is a better option. Just you have to see that you follow the pattern of a letter. That is, when you write the address, your own address, that will also be given in the question paper. That will be on the right hand side. You have to write the address on the top, your name and the address, and on the left hand side you have to write the address. That is, if you are writing to a school, to the principal so and so school and the particular address. And if you are writing a job application letter to a bank, then you have to write to the manager, HDFC Bank and so on. So if we assume that we are the candidate, actually you are writing exam for 12th standard, but there it will be given you are a graduate, you have 2 years of experience, you have done BCom, you have also done a diploma in banking, apply to so and so bank, and you have to then write an application. Basically you don't have to write the curriculum vitae again, you don't have to repeat the biodata in the answer paper. You have to write a plain application whereby you will be starting, as I said, from your address to the address's address, and then the first thing will be the subject. Again, what will be written in the subject? Application for the post of. Application for the post of a teacher, application for the post of for an accountant or whatever will be asked in the paper. Then you will write a reference. So you have to write the reference is any newspaper, Today's Times of India, Sakal, or I have referred this in the Indian Express. So in the reference you can write the source from which you got the address. Now 3 paragraphs you have to write. Respected sir or madam, I wish to apply for the post of and so you have to write this in 3 paragraphs, wherein the first paragraph and the last paragraph will be formality, like I came to know about the above vacancy from so and so paper, and so I am applying for the post of a teacher, or I am applying for the post of an accountant. So this is the first paragraph, and the last paragraph will be if given a chance in your organization, I would like to prove myself. I would prove to be an asset for you. I'll try to satisfy my management and so on. But that will only be for 1 month. The main content will be in the main paragraph, that is the middle paragraph. And we are going to discuss that. So what have you to write in a job application letter in the main paragraph is qualification plus experience. Now qualification, that also is provided in the question paper. So you have to write I am a graduate. If it is written BCom, then write I am a graduate from Mumbai University. Or you can write I have done my graduation in commerce from Mumbai University. If they ask you to write that you are a teacher, application for the post of a teacher, your qualification is BA English Literature, then you have to write that I have done my BA in English Literature from Mumbai University, and I have done my B.Ed from Mumbai University. So that is your professional qualification, and along with that you have to write that I have got minimum of dash years of experience. Again, that depends on the question paper. In the question will be specifically given minimum 2 years experience required. So when it is written minimum 2 years of experience required, you have to write I have got 3 years of experience. Don't write I have got 10 years of experience. So whatever is asked in the question, basically you have to reflect the same thing in your application, and then qualification plus experience can be given then, and 3 paragraphs are over. Okay, introductory paragraph, then you have the main paragraph, and the last paragraph concluding. Now when you write you have to write in the end the enclosures. Now what are the enclosures? Basically Xerox copies of your mark sheet and Xerox copy of your biodata. So that would sum up the job application letter. So out of question number 6A, you have to opt for the formal letter. Don't go for the informal letter. Question 6B, again there are 2 options, as we have discussed, tourist leaflet, and there will be an appeal. We have not discussed appeal, we have discussed tourist leaflet. So what is a tourist leaflet? Basically that question will be framed like write a short tourist leaflet to any of the historical places, or any of the religious places, or any of the places of historical importance. So hill station, historical place, or religious place. The tourist leaflet will be asked on any of this. So you have to be very careful. If they ask specifically that write a tourist leaflet to any of the hill station, please don't write a tourist leaflet to Kolhapur, that would be religious, or a tourist leaflet to Goa, that also is not a hill station. So what we have to target is either Matheran, because since we are thinking from viewpoint of Maharashtra, you can even write Darjeeling, you can write Mount Abu, but since we are in Maharashtra, all the teachers and even students are comfortable with 2 hill stations. One of the 2 famous hill stations in Maharashtra is, we can take Mahabaleshwar, or even from the viewpoint of Mumbai, you can write Pune. Now for example, if you write Pune, it becomes historical also, it becomes religious place also, and it is also a hill station. So if you are going through a tourist leaflet to Pune, you can answer any of the tourist leaflet. For example, write a tourist leaflet to any of the hill station. Write Pune because Pune is a hill station. Or you can write Mahabaleshwar. Again, it covers all the aspects of the question. Like a short tourist leaflet to a hill station is Mahabaleshwar. Again, a short tourist leaflet to a religious place. Again, it is a big Shiv temple with a history of 1,000 years. So you can write that it is a religious place. People go there for worshipping Lord Shiva, uh, deity of Hindus. Or you can also convert it into a historical place by highlighting that you can go to Pratapgarh, a small hill station in Maharashtra, located in the hills of Panchgani, that is again Mahabaleshwar. So if you write Pratapgarh, it's a historical place, as we all know that a fort built by Shivaji Maharaj, and the history behind it. You can write the history in short. So what historical importance it has only has to be written if you are asked to write a short tourist leaflet in any of the historical places. If you are asked to write a tourist leaflet to any of the hill stations, please keep the same tourist leaflet, but then you have to specify what is a hill station. Like you are having some points like a eco point, sunrise point, sunset point. That is what is a hill station is all about. People go there to visit all these points. So you can write according to the question. Now, 4 questions will be asked in tourist leaflet. First, how to get there. Second, where to stay. Third, what to see. And fourth, any other special thing about that place. So what we are discussing is how to get there. Suppose again you have to write 3 options: by road, by rail, or by air. If it is an airport around, then you can write about the airport. Otherwise, just write the other 2 options. It can be accessible only by road and rail. There is no hills, there is no airport or a helipad on Mahabaleshwar. So you can write 2 options. By road, it is accessible if you catch the Goa highway, national highway to Goa. On the way, after like in Ratnagiri area, after Mangaon, you can take a left. From there, you can reach Mahabaleshwar, which is around 5 hours from Mumbai. By rail, if you go by rail to Mahabaleshwar, you can land up in Satara, and again by road you can go to Mahabaleshwar. So be specific. What you are writing is a tourist leaflet to a hill station, or you are writing a tourist leaflet to any of the historical places, or any of the hill stations to any of the religious places. Otherwise, it will be of no use. You will be directly getting 0. Second option is appeal. Now in this appeal, you can go for example, a related topic. Like students have to draw simple diagrams. For example, no smoking pamphlet. What is a no smoking pamphlet? You have to draw a cigarette, then put a cross on it, which shows that you're appealing the students or the people know not to smoke. It's not good for health, and so on. So you have to prepare an appeal in a form of a pamphlet. You have to draw a rectangle on the paper and then highlight the words like no smoking and write something about it. Whatever is your thought about it, that would be a difficult thing to write. So it is better to take the first option, that was tourist leaflet. Third option is again an internal option, is about a dialogue writing or a newspaper report. Now newspaper report has to be given like a bus meets with an accident and 40 people died. 40 people died in a bus accident. Now they have to elaborate it, where the accident happened. Out of this 40 people who have died, how many were males, how many were females, how did the accident take place, what was the view, eyewitness, what is the eyewitness to say about it. So again, that is a difficult thing. So we'll stick to the first option, tourist leaflet. Don't go for appeal. Don't go for report writing, because journalism is not so easy and you may not be getting full marks for it. And dialogue writing for about 8 sentences, that is also we have already discussed about dialogue writing, how to convert the passage into a dialogue. Now, question number 6C is the information transfer from non-verbal to verbal. Now, basically, some diagrams will be given in the question paper. For example, a bar diagram is given, bifurcating it into sugar, wheat, and rice is the first bar diagram in a particular year. Then again, sugar, wheat, and rice in the second year and third year, and you'll be asked when did the rice production increase, at the same time what was the sugar production. So basically, what you have to do, either bar diagram, maybe a pie chart is given. Suppose a pie chart is given, and in that pie chart, option is asked to you that 20% of the people you can see are drinking aerated water, 30% of them are drinking juices, fresh juices, 30% of them prefer cold drinks, and remaining 20% we can see they prefer again. So you have to basically see what information has to be transferred from non-verbal to verbal. If it is a pie diagram, percentages and all will be given in the paper. You have to just convert it into a paragraph. That from the above paragraph we can say that either a bar diagram or a pie diagram, you have to transfer it into paragraph. So that is called as non-verbal to verbal. Again, it should be one paragraph, around 120 words, which can be assumed that there will be 4 to 5 lines or 6 lines for 4 marks. Now the third option, that is question number 6C, is also having or developing a counter view. So this question number 6, has a lot of options. Let's see the first option. Here we can see that question number 6A is letter writing, formal and informal. So we have discussed that we'll go for a formal letter. Again, question number 6B, there are 4 options in question number 6B. This is a bit confusing. Either you will be writing tourist leaflet, or you will be writing appeal. You can write a newspaper report, or you can convert the paragraph into dialogue. So what I feel, out of these 4 options in question number 6B, the easiest one is tourist leaflet. Of course, you have to prepare a little bit in advance for that, and which can be either historical, religious, or a hill station. We have discussed that. 6C again is having 2 options, information transfer and developing a counter view. What is information transfer? Is from non-verbal to verbal. We have discussed that, and you have to take that option. Don't go for view and counter view, because in exam either will be given advantages, you have to counter view and write the disadvantages, or you will be given disadvantages. For example, whether what is the need, is there really a need for using mobile phone for the students? So if it is given yes, then you have to write no. If they give positive, you have to write the negative side of it. So better drop this option, I would say, and go for a certain option, and that is information transfer, which is very easily available from the pie chart. You can convert it into a tree diagram. Now let's go to question number 7, that is the last question in this section, which is again carrying 4 marks. Question number 7A is framing questions for an interview. 8 questions have to be framed, and each question will be carrying half mark. Now what we normally see every year checking the papers is that students frame the interview questions which are not related to the question. There will be some hints given You have to use those hints and then frame the interview question. And please don't answer those questions. You have to just frame questions. Don't write answers for it. So 8 questions and 8 answers would mean 16 points. Anyway, for 4 marks, you will be only considered what questions you are writing. Even if you are writing the answers, we will consider what questions you have framed. So these 8 questions will be giving you 4 marks. We can calculate half a mark for each question. And basically, this question is always asked like, frame an interview question for any famous personality which you like, or a student of your college has stood first. Frame interview questions, ask her about, then 3 options will begin. Her schedule, what is the reason for her success, what are her hobbies. So stick your questions to what is asked particularly and what you are asked to frame. Don't go out of the frame. And the last one is preparing a speech. Now, preparing a speech, this will give you 3 marks, and actually, the question itself is wrong. We cannot write a speech, we cannot give a speech. This is not a writing skill, actually, it is a oral skill. But since it is in the pattern, we'll discuss that. You have to start like this. Dear friends, today I am going to speak about dash dash dash. What can be that? That can again depend on the question. If the question is saying that give a speech on the World Environment Day, emphasizing on pollution or emphasizing on sound pollution. No, the question here is to be understood that you are not going to speak on the world and its environment. You have to confine yourself to sound pollution, which will be a part of your speech on the World Environment Day. Okay, so you don't have to write anything about the World Environment Day. You have to write, dear friends, today I am going to speak about the sound pollution on the occasion of the Sound, the World Environment Day. Now, it has to be only a small paragraph, maybe around 100 words, maybe 4 to 5 lines, and you have to end up with thank you friends for listening to me so patiently and all that. So you have to be writing as if you are speaking, and this speech has to start from a salutation like dear friends, respected chief guest, and if you don't do that, you will be getting 0. So weightage is given to this only if you start and end it like a speech. Now let's reconcile and see how to no, not click this, no? Actually we have not clicked this.